Welcome back to Cognitive Psychology 120A. What I'd like to do today is cover a slightly modified version of Chapter 7 or Module 7, which deals with long-term memory. In fact, you will notice that there are two parts to the reading assignment. It's just that I cut the original module number 7 and I replaced it with one small section from module 8 because they just fit together much better. So you will see that there are two different readings, but they're part of the same lecture on long-term memory. Here's what I want to cover today. The idea of the neural reality of the difference between short-term memory and long-term memory. Then I want to cover how exactly and what aspects influence what information is moved from short-term memory into long-term memory. And here we're going to see a number of different, another number of different issues, the serial position effect, the so-called level of processing theory of how deeply we encode information and how that relates to how well we remember it, so-called transfer appropriate processing, and encoding, the effect of encoding specificity. Then I want to briefly discuss what is the format of long-term memories. We said that the format of short-term memory is acoustic in nature. So how about long-term memory? And then I just want to provide some evidence. When we think of long-term memory, we think of it as made up of different kinds of memory. And so I want to provide some evidence for these different kinds, particularly focusing on the difference between semantic and episodic memory, as well as the difference between implicit and explicit memory. Finally, and this is the only section I stole from Module 8, which we will not do anything else from Module 8, just this tiny section that I stole. I really want to close by focusing on the idea that memory is not that nice DVD that we imagine it is, that we can sort of replay later for inspection. Memory is actually a constructive process, in fact, a reconstructive process. You're trying to reconstruct your memory. And the fact that every time you recall something, you're actually trying to reconstruct it means that it's extremely susceptible to being interfered with. And it's extremely susceptible, therefore, to lead you to create false memories. All right, let's get going.